to share another Guan Yin Bodhisattva story, Lotus Guan Yin. She's going to manifest herself as a Buddhist nun. Let's find out today. Back to the old sentient time, there is one Buddhist temple near the mountain. In this temple, there is one wooden statue, very famous, because whoever come to this temple do a prayer to this statue, all of their wishes can come true. There is one man, he came to this temple to do a prayer to this Buddhist statue every single day. So people come to ask him, Mr. Pan, why you are so devoted to this statue? I see you every day, morning or evening, non-stop. You come to this temple to do a prayer to this statue. And then Mr. Pan, he say, I cannot sleep if I do not come to do a prayer to this Buddhist statue. I just have such a very strong connection with statue. And he offered a lot of jewelry, treasure, and offering to this statue. And all of the people, their wishes come true. They also offer a lot of jewelry, gold, and or silver to this statue. That's why this statue becomes so famous. One day and one night, all of the Buddhist monks in this temple, they all fall asleep because they are a bunch of thieves planning to steal this Buddhist statue out of this temple. They put the medicine pill on their food. So this bunch of thieves took this statue out of the shrine room. There's no one discover because this statue is quite big and heavy. So they took quite big effort to move this statue to a wooden boat. So this bunch of thieves, around 50 of them, they stay together with this statue in this boat, and they are celebrating. Finally, they steal this statue with all the treasure and the gold on the statue's body. So these 50 of the thieves just having a meeting and celebration to discuss how can they divide those treasure on this statue. So the captain of the thief, he say, I am the person plan everything. I make this plan successfully. That's why we can steal this statue. So I should have half of the treasure to me. The second person say, no, I should be the person have the half of the treasure because I'm the person put the medicine on their food. If they cannot follow sleep, we have no way can steal this statue out of the temple. So they begin their argument. They were fighting each other, try to see who should have more proportion of the treasure. So the youngest thief in this group of 50, and he say, I possibly will gain nothing because I'm the youngest one. I have not much contribution to this plan. But he was thinking, I can steal all the treasure out of this bowl because I can swim. So that's his plan. So all these 49 of the thieves, they were just arguing, fighting. It's just about, to almost figure out who is going to win this battle. There is a thunderstorm suddenly arrived to come to this ocean and to attacking this boat. So this boat turning around and second round and finally split half in the ocean and all of them drowned to the water. The younger thief, then he took all the treasure on his body and he tried to steal all of the treasure and swim back to the village. But all the treasure he put on the body is too heavy, so he cannot swim at all. He slowly taking out some gold, silver, and finally he found in order to make himself survive, he need to give up all the treasure on this statue. So he said, I cannot just gain nothing. So finally he grabbed one mala on the statue's left-hand side. It's very precious aging wood, like a sandalwood. One type of the sandalwood mala he took out from the statue and put on his hand. And then he swam back to the village. And remember I mentioned about Mr. Pan, that he cannot sleep because the statue has been stolen for weeks by now. So he cannot sleep. He always walking around in this village, try to see any hint he can get in order to find back this statue. So one night, he was getting very tired and he fell asleep. In this dream, he saw there's a Buddhist nun in this tea shop, one of the very famous tea shop in the village. And he got close to her and he showed his respect to this Buddhist nun. He said, Master, I feel very suffering because I couldn't sleep since the statue got stolen from the temple. Can you give me any hint I can find back this statue? Once he said that, this Buddhist nun staring at him and smiled. And she took one wooden sandalwood mala and put on his hand. And suddenly, Mr. Pan wake up. And he realized this can be a very magical dream. But he just discovered actually this is not dream at all. Because on his left-hand side, there's a sandalwood mala, very precious one. So he know this is not actually a dream. Then he think this could be the Guan Yin Bodhisattva manifest as a Buddhist nun appear in his dream, giving him a tip. So once he wake up, then he still continue his daily behavior, looking around in this small town. And he saw the famous tea shop in his dream. So he decided walk into this tea shop. Immediately he saw there's one young guy sitting on the seat exactly the same with his dream. The young guy looked very tired. And the very magical thing is he has exactly the same mala he has on his hand, which the Guan Yin菩萨gave to him in his dream. So he decided, go talk to this young man. He said, young man, how can you have the same mala I have? What you have done for past weeks, can you tell me? So this young man was quite scared because he discovered that Mr. Pan already found out he's one of the young thieves in this group of thieves. So he asked Mr. Pan, say, can we go outside? Let's settle a deal together. So this young thief told Mr. Pan, I'm going to tell you where this statue disappeared. And if we can find the statue together, I will get all the treasure part and you can have the statue. How this sound? And Mr. Pan immediately knocking the head say, okay, let's make this deal together because my goal is getting the statue back to the temple. So immediately Pan He decided to sell all his pawn shop in entire village. He get all the money and he hired 100 of the sailmen. Those workers can sail the boat. So immediately those workers with this young thief and Mr. Pan get on the wooden boat and sailed the boat to the middle of the ocean. The young thief said, "This is where our boat drawn into the water. So I'm sure the statue must be somewhere close to here." Just about they are trying to find where the location is, and they can swim to find the statue. There is a huge thunderstorm suddenly arrived. So this boat also being drawn into the ocean. And this young thief, he know how to swim, so he can swim. The Mr. Pan, he couldn't swim at all. So it's just about he drawn into the bottom of the ocean. He saw this Buddhist nun actually appear in the ocean, taking his hand and took him out of the ocean to the coast side of the small island. When Mr. Pan wake up, and he saw this young thief actually next to him. And very magically is he just found the statue actually is on the beach next to him as well. So immediately he wake up this young thief to say, "I found the statue, let's try to bring back to the village." But this young thief was quite disappointed because this statue become a bare statue, no treasure at all, not even a piece of a small silver, nothing. And this is just a bare statue. So just about they were thinking how to bring this statue back to the village, immediately Guan Yin Bodhisattva manifested herself above the ocean and delivered teaching to both of them. She said, "Both of you have a strong attachment to this Buddhist statue, but because your intention different, then your destiny is different. Pan-he, you have strong devotion to this Buddhist statue, to the Guan Yin Bodhisattva. That's why you are able to find back the statue, and you will have a good life afterwards. On the other hand, young thief, nothing belongs to you. Even you have it, you cannot keep them. Just like you saw the treasure in the ocean, but you cannot put on your body, you cannot hold them forever." Once Guan Yin Bodhisattva said that, she sent both of them back to the village. Once they back to the village, the police from the village come to catch this young thief and put him into the jail. But Mr. Pan, because his sincerity to the Buddhist practice and to the Guan Yin Bodhisattva, he become even more rich than before. He became one of the richest men in the country. So that is the Guan Yin Bodhisattva's teaching. The most important treasure is our purity and our sincerity to our belief, and to practice and to execute our belief to benefit others. Later on, people named this Guan Yin Bodhisattva as Lotus Guan Yin Bodhisattva, because on the time of the thief stolen this statue, the side of the statue itself had the chips. Later on, Pan-he make a beautiful sandalwood and handcrafting the lotus as a decorative piece on the statue to make as a whole. So that's my story of today, and I wish next time I will have you to join me again. Thank you.